Are you sure you put the right video on? You being here means that you've decided to join Frozen February, and that is exciting in my opinion, because you're gonna learn a lot the next 28 days about your spending habits, what you truly value, and how to save money. This video will be your guide to how to do a Frozen February, and the main rule is very simple. We're not gonna spend money unless it's truly necessary. And the necessary part is a bit tricky, like what is truly necessary? We're gonna come back to that. The spending pause is not about how much you can suffer. It's about creativity, it's about planning, it's about noticing how and why we spend money. It's about changing big habits, small habits, and to land in what we truly value and want to spend our money on. And although the rule seems very harsh, it's actually easier to move through a month with one hard rule than having to negotiate with yourself all the time. So for the next 4 weeks, you're only going to spend money on what keeps you alive, the responsibilities you have. Everything else is paused. I've done this challenge with my Norwegian community for 5 years, and the question I get the most starts with, am I allowed to? But the question I want you to ask yourself if you're thinking, I need to buy this. Does it keep me alive? Do I have to do this because of my responsibilities? And if no, it's a no. Like food. We need food. You're allowed to eat nutritious food, but you buy them at a grocery store, not a full restaurant meal. We're going to talk more about food later because it's an important part of the challenge. But just know now, you are going to eat. And when it comes to your responsibilities, if you have to take the train to work, the tickets is necessary spending. If you're going to spend a Saturday in the city, I would advise against it. Not only because of the train tickets, but why would you tempt yourself all day? Instead, you could invite a friend and go walk in nature. You could bring packed lunches, you could bring your own coffee, maybe talk about your savings goals. And do you have kids? You're going to keep them alive too. You'll pay for daycare, diapers, and the things your kids need. This is your reset, not theirs. They're allowed to go to birthday parties, sports, but try to think smarter around the gifts. Plan for transportation and food on the go. Make it as low cost or no cost as possible. And don't do extra indoor playgrounds and activities that cost money. Look for ways to have a great time without spending any money. So this month, use your creativity and planning skills instead of relying on money to solve your problems. So the exceptions to the spending freeze is food, but don't splurge, medication and healthcare. Don't skip your dentist appointment, but also not book a personal trainer for February. You'll have to figure out how to move your body on your own this February or watch some YouTube videos. So food, health, medication, kids, planned activities. I have a sauna appointment in 2 weeks and I'm not going to cancel it. I should have thought, let's find a free activity to do. But when it's already planned, I'm not backing out. And I also don't want your social life, the things you already planned, to suffer from this challenge. Like here in Norway, there is a winter break in a couple of weeks. And if you're already decided to go skiing, go skiing. But you can still think smart about how you spend, and no, you don't need any new gear. And if you do, look for cheap ways to buy used equipment, borrow from someone. Again, use your creativity and planning instead of your money to solve your problems. And also when traveling or doing something social, you could still be smart about food. So to be concrete, you pay for your housing, your utilities, your basic bills, credit card bills, mortgage, what you have to pay, childcare, school fees, necessary transportation, groceries, medication and necessary healthcare, and the commitments you already made before February. And what you're not going to pay for is clothes, shoes, beauty products, skincare, home decor, small treats, cafe, restaurants, takeaway meals, entertainment that costs money, digital purchases, all the little here and there spending. We're not going to have spending limits on these categories. Either it's a necessary thing or it's a no. And in terms of preparations, there are none. So you're not behind. We start today. I will give you a list of daily tasks over in the community tab. The task for day 1 is to join, which means you register on the link and get your Frozen February file. And this is what I'm talking about. Every night throughout the challenge, you're going to color in one of these ice cubes at the end of the day. And you're going to color it either yellow, green, or red. And I think you understood the system already. A day without any purchases is green. A day where you made a necessary purchase, like paying a bill or buying groceries, yellow. If, however, on the grocery trip, you also buy something that's not necessary, the day is red. It's all explained in the file. And what I want you to do today, the first day of the challenge, is to write your rules. Here you write down your exceptions. For instance, I'm going away for those days, so I'm allowed to use transportation and eat some food on the go because I'm not in my home country. Like, if you have any exceptions like that, write it down so that you don't get there and think, what can I do? What can I not do? Maybe I'll just forget about the whole challenge. I want you to do the challenge, even though you have some necessary exceptions. Write down what you're not buying. You could just write down the list that I said, or if you want to quit smoking, you have to write cigarettes on here to make you accountable to yourself. And at the bottom, it's about food and essentials. So if you're watching this on the 1st of February, the only thing you have to do is get the file and fill out page 3. If you're watching this sometime later, over in the community tab, you will find all the tasks, the daily tasks. And the reason I want you to be really clear on the rules is because you will negotiate with yourself. And when that happens, it really helps to say, I've already decided this. And when you've written something down, it's more binding than just hearing me say it. If you're extra eager and want to start on more things, start planning the food and cancel subscriptions. Frozen February is the perfect opportunity to pause, freeze, and cancel subscriptions. What streaming services do you have? What digital things like apps that cost you money every week or every month? Is there anything you can stop? And throughout the month, check in with yourself. Do I miss this service? Do I have to have it back on the 1st of March? If you do, that's fine. Then you know. Then you know this is something you really value and want back in your life. If you didn't even notice that you didn't have access to the service or app or whatever it is, newspaper, then you don't have to start it again. And the money you save this month, you'll save every single month going forward. So for the food, you're not going to start in the supermarket, you're going to start at home. I want you to go to your kitchen and you're going to look in your fridge, your cupboards, your freezer. I like to write all the things down because that's how I can make a system in my brain and figure out what do I eat on what days. So I'll go in the fridge first and see if I have any bread or anything that will go bad soon. Those are my priorities to eat the first days. So what I have inside the freezer will also be good at the end of the month, but I'll try to eat as much as possible of it the first and second and third week so that in the 4th week, it's all basically empty and I can buy new food